Hello everybody. Hey, this video is probably not the most exciting one I've ever done because I had a change of plans this weekend. I got hurt this past week, injured my leg, and it hurts like a you know what. Because I was thinking about going to this train meet, and it's 2 hours away from my house. So it'll be a 4-hour round trip, and then walk around. And I'm thinking, oh, the sore leg that's killing me, I can't do it. So I just been staying home nursing my leg, and I thought, what am I going to make a video of? Well, this past week, I've been working on 2 cars, and I got them at the Freight House Model Trains and More in Endicott, New York. You know, I was hanging out with my buddies Josh and Dave, and we had gotten a bunch of model Roundhouse kits in, and there was like 4 of the Gorre and Daphetid rail cars, and I thought, Dave and I are like, oh, these are so cool, because if you don't know where that came from, it was from a very famous layout by John Allen, who was kind of like the guy back in the 60s and 70s and HO model trains. And I won't give you a whole history and all this stuff about him. I'll put a link in the description to a website that tells the history of it, and also a link to a video that shows a lot of the layout, and it talks about the history too. And but John Allen was in all the model railroad magazines, excuse me, and there's always a lot of photos of his layout. And he started his big layout, I think, in the 60s and into the 70s until he passed away, January 6, 1973. And tragically, 10 days after he had passed, his friends were running trains in his basement. Somebody left a heater on. It caught the layout on fire. Pretty much destroyed most of it. Some stuff, I guess, was saved. The house was okay, but the layout was just wiped out. And, that's, who knows if it would survive to this day. Had that not happened, I don't know. But it's tragic that happened. But I just think it's so cool that I didn't even realize Roundhouse made, cars with his railroad on it. And doing a little research, I found out there's maybe like 20 pieces out there that I know of. If you know more, put in the description. But I'll have a list of what I found at the end of this video, if you're interested in finding more, because I definitely will be looking out at train shows for more of these. But let's take a closer look of the 2 cars I have. So these are 2 cars I have. Like I said, they're both Roundhouse kits. And if you're not familiar, this is the boxes they come in. So if you're at a train show, this is what... It's kind of weird box, you think about it. These weird colors. Kind of groovy 70s. But there's the number for the cattle car that I have. And then the meat reefer that I just finished. Interesting, Altoona shops. I love going to Altoona. But anyways, so we'll take a little closer look at the cattle car. Now, when I got this, somebody had already strung the under bracing, which is nice because that's a pain. But it was bare metal because this is a die-cast floor. So I just painted it flat black. And I put Katie wheels on it and Katie couplers. Actually, this had Katie couplers on, but one was an undershank for some reason. One was standard shank. And then we got the meat reefer. And keep in mind, these molds are from the 70s. So, compared to today, there wasn't a ton. This is die cast also. The brake detail is plastic that you glue on. I remember when Roundhouse moved more to plastic, like Athearn frame, or bottoms. And a lot of guys didn't like that, but I didn't mind too much because as a kid. I was not a fan of Roundhouse as a kid because there's a lot of flashing, especially on the stirrup steps. You got to get a little square file and clean those out nicely, and there's a lot of filing work that goes in to make that bottom look decent. And then we got the top hatches. And I didn't want a black wheel, and that's the only brown I had at the moment, so I got to find a better brown, touch that up. But that is my only 2. Sorry I don't have more. That's my only 2 pieces. Like I said, there's probably about 20 that I know of. And I'll have, like I said, I'll have that list at the end here. And we'll do a run by with the 2 cars, so it'll be quick. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video because, like I said, from us guys in the 70s and the 80s, we all knew about John Allen because he was, in all the magazines and stuff. And I just want to give some exposure to the to guys, because I love the history and kind of see where super detail kind of came from on layouts, because like I said, John built from floor to ceiling. So definitely check out the video I'll link to on the description, that shows a lot of the layout. So all right, thanks for watching, guys. We'll do a run by, and as always, where you see me hopefully walking nicely, you know you're gonna see some cool trains. All right, guys, take care.